Let's look at it. The PDP, the Labour Party, the NPP, and even the ADC that came up with so much hope.
Disregard the ADC to stay on the other parties, and I'll tell you why.
Okay. When you explain it, you explain that to us. Now, would you say it is ego tripping by the leaders of these various parties, or the lack of ideology? Or is it the weakness of their various institutions that is responsible for this persistent crisis in these opposition parties?
Look, the PDP, for starts, has endured. These parties were started in 1999, 98. The AD, where is it? The AC, where is it? All the others, where are they? To their credit, they are standing. So you can't accuse them of saying. What I see happening with the PDP right now is that I said it, I think not on your platform, one platform, that look, we survived, the PDP as a party survived the first stroke, which was G5, them Sheyi Makinde and Co with Wike. The second stroke now is the pullback of Atiku Abubakar and his own energy. That's the second stroke. What you are seeing going on here, where there seems to be nobody that can get anybody to listen and have a bit of common sense, is that Atiku has a bit pulled down. And say what you will about him, you can never disregard the fact that there is a behemoth in the political democratic space. So he's pulling away. He's already creating the consequences of the second stroke. I think they will survive. The Labour Party, you have to blame Peter Obi for that. That party had been around, albeit a medium-sized party, nothing over the top, until Peter came in there and they gave him their ticket. And to his credit, phenomenally did well, and they started looking like a good party. Yeah. What does Peter think is the responsibility of a leader? Does Peter think the responsibility of the leader is to always move when there's a crisis or not to solve the problem? Now, suddenly he's backed off them a bit, even though he says he's not led. And the Labour Party has gone back to his mediocre ways. Oh yeah, you wanted to talk about, instead of you to talk about Showere's party, you're talking about ADC. In Showere's party, you may say, I don't like his style. I don't like the style of soli every 5 minutes, but you can't argue with the fact that you can see a particular pattern that is a bit consistent. What are you going to say about ADC? The jokers who left PDP without managing their issues, who are leaving APC without managing their issues, who are leaving Labour without managing their issues, have carried their character into a party that has been existing for a while. And what did they do? Rather than accept that you have to build from the ground and put in the energy to build from the ground, what did they do? They sat in Abuja, connived with some chairman of the place whose tenure ordinarily should have ended in that party, bought the top line of the party without looking at the constitution of that party, which says if you are to remove the chairman, you must replace him with somebody from his zone. They didn't check that. They now have, what's his name now, the David Mark and Co., including Aregbe, parading themselves as leaders of the ADC. Whereas the body structure of the ADC, since it has been a party that existed before now, containing ward executive, local government executive, state executive are here.
But the court has recognized them.
What do you mean by the court? Have they finished the case? Recognize them how? You can come to the court and tell the court that, oh, we have done nonsense, but that nonsense, we did it right. That does not mean that some other person will not take it to court and say, that which you did, was it within our constitution? Was it within our law? So why are they fractionized? Why do they have 2 campaign offices or party offices? Why do they have one in Utaku and one wherever, in Wuse, where David Mark is saying they are? Why are they having issues? Because, you see, give it to Ashaju. Patience is also a virtue. Between 2007, when he finished governor in Lagos, do you know how many years between 2007 to 2023 when he won presidency? Almost 16 years. That's the time it takes to build anything. But you see, the problem you have with the democratic institutions of opposition is that you have a lot of hoppers. They hop about like monkeys. Once things are not going their way, they start running around, they start thinking this and that, they start destabilizing it, they start using the little gravitas they have to destabilize the place. And when you try to tell them, the grass is not always greener on the others, can't you just let us stay here and build it? Are you not even ashamed that South Africa has a party that is 104 years old, ANC. Even China, that is a so-called CPC. You know how old that party is? More than 93 years, or maybe a little bit over 100 years. Do you know how old the Democratic Party in America is? 198. So what I'm saying is that leaders have to understand that you have to constantly repair your house. Okay. Constantly. All right, you want to blame the president. Yes, I want to blame him too because it's convenient to blame him and he's the president, can take the blame. But am I going to blame him entirely for the fact that adults are moving?
So with what you're saying now, are you saying that among these opposition figures, Atiku Abubakar, Rabiu Kwankwaso, Peter Obi, you mentioned Showore, there is no formidable opposition that can, confront President Tinubu in 2027?
No, but oh God, President Tinubu is cheaply beatable. It's cheaply beatable. The challenge on the table is, how do you beat him? The first thing you must understand is that we don't have independent candidacy in this country. So if you don't have independent candidacy, you got to fix a party. Now, if you want to fix the party, and all you guys are doing, PDP especially, very destabilizing and very, very painful to watch, they are fighting. Over what? Over losses? Okay, I'm the chairman, I'm the secretary. What does that really mean? So nobody can help them with that except themselves. ADC, would they not have been sensible enough to understand that you can't just hop into hopping? You have to go to place, make sure that you started from the scratch, put in all the effort, work it out until you have a strong structure, and pray and hope you can attract people who would then say, but this is your character. This is what you've done before. What is Peter's problem? You think if he stayed in his Labour Party by now, that party will not be the main opposition? The energy is there. The people are excited and excitable. He has a bit of energy to walk around. But he's the one who's not even stayed in his party. Everybody blames the next person but themselves. That's the problem of opposition. Everybody comes and says, oh, it's Shaggy, but it's not you. It's Femi, it's not you. No. The only way you're going to get it to say, okay, yes, if you want to win the next election, assuming you want to win, first of all, where should the presidency come from based on the pendulum rule? Because you're not going to come and tell us in the Southwest now, or in the South, general South, that, oh, after 8 years of Muhammadu Buhari's presidency, you want to destroy the country again and we'll have unending crisis like we used to have before. You need to stay in the South for 8 years. If you want to stay in the South for 8 years, are you not going to even look for who is the material that can even get the job done? Let's get that one started. Somebody will know that we can show the Nigerian people that they'll be happy with him.
Quite
and
interesting.
Then take the party and then run. But you know what they're doing? Everybody is assuming that Bola Tinubu is easy to beat. That was what led them into all this medley of misdirected activity. They are calling agency, all this kind of useless. And he's going to beat them so much, and they're going to then start accusing him of he rigged them. And then when they start accusing him of he rigged them, that's when his own problem will start. Because he's going to be explaining and explaining and explaining and explaining, and nobody's going to listen. And you can never have enough ammunition, you can never have enough security to push down 93 million people when your numbers will probably, going by the last one, was just about 8. If you are not even careful, less people will turn out now. Because people have made the democracy very obvious.
Mr. Showunmi, to always have you on the program. We can go on and on and on. But our time
we should do like 2 hours. We should find 2 hours.
If you pay for it, we will. But thank you so much.
Why? To educate people to give ideas to how to pay.
The one that you've used is enough. Thank you so much for your time with us on the program.
Totally my pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Well, that's where we'll leave our conversation today.